All right, let's see. We got a couple in the building. Gotta say, tough one. Very tough loss. That stunk. Booty cheeks. Let's see if any more pop in here. We can talk about this game a little bit, huh? What's up? What's up? We got one in here. Appreciate you. We're going to talk about this game a little bit. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about that game, now's your chance. Now is your chance. Let me know how you're feeling. What's up, Daniel? Appreciate you. Alright, well, I'm going to get this video started. Dive into it. What a tough loss, man. What a tough loss. Well, our Minnesota Vikings suffered a tough loss today against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 20-17. Could have been better. Seen a lot of good things. One massive thing that we need to change. We need to make better. We need to figure it out a little bit more. And that's offensive line. But we'll get into it. So I got some notes here. We're going to dive through it. First quarter of the game. I really liked how we came out. Just kidding. We didn't. We started slow. Okay? I'm sick of us starting slow. We start slow every single season. Every single game. We just can't get an offense that's moving and grooving and trying to put points on the board. We started way too slow. Way too slow. Another thing. The entire game. This isn't just the first quarter. We need to pick up the blitz better. There was way too much pressure up front from that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line, which I knew was going to be a problem going into this game. Vita Vea is an absolute stud, and so is the rest of that defensive line. But there was way too much pressure. Kirk Cousins basically had no time in the pocket to make decisions, to make his reads, to throw the ball downfield. The only time he really felt like he was getting into a rhythm was when he had to roll outside the pocket, and that's not what Kirk Cousins does. That's not what he's known for. He's known to stand in the pocket, make his reads, and throw the ball. That wasn't the case. Even there was multiple times, even when he had to run outside, that he would get, blitzed, or he would get basically he would get tackled. All right, or he would have to make a quick decision because somebody's coming off the edge. They had a corner blitz or something like that. Tampa Bay's defense played phenomenal football against our Minnesota Vikings, and it sucks because we've seen spurts of it where our offense, when they're moving, when they find a rhythm, they can be explosive. They can put points on the board. Jordan Addison, great touchdown in that second quarter. 39-yard touchdown reception, I believe it was, for him, wide open. He is sneaky good. He's going to be awesome for us. I think he's going to take a lot of eyes off of Justin Jefferson, which obviously was the case today because Justin Jefferson, I mean, this dude is an absolute freak of nature. Picked up right where he left off last season. I'm excited to watch him the rest of the year, but 9 catches, 150 yards. No tutties on the day for him, but still pretty decent. Our run game really couldn't get going. Only 34 yards out of Alexander Madison. Kirk Cousins was the second leading runner with seven rushing yards, but that's because, again, that defensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers held us at bay. They knew what it took to win this game, and we didn't, apparently. Okay, that's what happened. Second quarter, we talked about Addison. He's going to be sneaky good, taking a lot of eyes off of Jefferson. And Flores really got that defense going. I loved what I seen out of the defense. We're cooking. Yeah, we have a young secondary. We got beat a couple times, but we're mainly getting beat on those short 3 to 5 yard plays. We've seen it basically in that whole second half. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin had a sneaky good catch to basically seal the deal. So those short to medium routes is where we got to figure it out. We got burned one time by Mike Evans deep, but still, with how young our secondary is, with how much crap everyone was talking about our secondary, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're just fine. the whole defense is going to be just fine. If we can have a healthy Marcus Davenport on the field, he was out the entire game. We missed him. Maybe things look a little different, but at the same time, we got to be better. Okay, we started the game making sure that they weren't converting on third downs. However, that quickly changed in that second half. We just kind of laid an egg there. Then we go into that second half. Game was okay until Jay Ward decided to go off sides. Okay, it would have made it a 13-10 ball game at that point. However, offsides move them half the distance to the goal line. Tampa Bay now scores a touchdown. Now it's 17-10. Okay, we're thinking, all right, whatever. We march down the field. We find a way to get into the end zone. We tied up 17-17. But without that, if he wouldn't have started offsides, we would have had the lead. We would have had momentum going into that fourth quarter. Things would have looked a lot better. That wasn't the case. We can't have that offside penalty. Not too much in the third, other than our offense. Seen one possession that in the third quarter. Still starting slow. Can't get into rhythm. Too much pressure allowed up front. Fourth quarter, we were too hesitant on offense to take shots down the field. Kind of looked like we were mailing it in just a little bit. But we can't do that. We have to all gas, no brakes. With how explosive our offense can be, we have got to put points on the board. And that wasn't the case. But I think it goes back to one thing. Offensive line play. Our offensive line was horrible. Completely crap. Terrible. Non-existent. Garrett Bradbury out the entire game with a back injury. Hopefully he gets better. Austin Schlottman had to step in. He did all right. Ed Ingram decided to step on Kirk Cousins' foot right away in that game, causing a fumble. And Kirk Cousins actually had 2 fumbles that both were lost. He's not good. And then you had Christian Darrisaw was banged up a little bit with that ankle injury during the game, but he found a way to tough it out and stuff like that. But one big thing we need to fix is our offensive line. Absolute crap from the offensive line. Has to be better. Kawesi has to fix it. We need to address it. Enough with addressing the wide receivers like we did in training camp. Let's sign 15 of them. No. Fix the issue at hand. Offensive line. If we had a better offensive line, we'd probably win that game. Give Kirk Cousins more time, take a lot of pressure off him. He can make his reads, settle in, get our offense in a rhythm, and that just wasn't the case today. Minnesota loses 20-17. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you thought about that game in the comments. So, Skol Vikes. Now let's get to the chat. Daniel's here. What's up, Dale? Yup. So far, it's the same Vikings team. So far. Booty cheeks. Don't understand it. Garbage offensive line play. That was probably my biggest takeaways. Our offensive line is just not great. Yep, we need to get that O-line together. Lots of potential. I seen a lot of potential. Our defense played good. But yeah, man, it just comes back down to offensive line. We can't create the holes for Madison to run through. That's why he only had 34 yards on the ground. Kirk Cousins getting pressured too much. Never had enough time to throw the ball. That's a bummer. Got to fix that. So it's the little things. Offensively, wide receivers are good. Tight ends are good. Running back could be good. The offensive line. This loss comes down to the offensive line. And it better be addressed. We need to make a signing. I don't know who it's going to be. Hoping for Dalton Reisner if he's healthy. But man, that cannot happen. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dale. I appreciate that. Boy, oh boy. Well, I think you guys kind of got the gist of the game and what happened. We just got outperformed, outplayed. Yeah. No, the Tampa Buccaneers defense played phenomenal. They stuck it to us. The amount of pressure they were getting, and that was the big thing when I said my game preview. The one thing I worry about is Vita Vea and that defensive line, and that's exactly what we had to worry about because that's why we lost. Great off the line blitzing, those corner blitzes, keeping Kurt at bay. Can't lose that one, man. And now we go roll into Thursday, and we take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home during primetime. And we all know about primetime Kirk Cousins. That is going to be a very, very tough football game. And we could start the season 0-2. I don't feel as bad about our defense at all. Yeah, I thought I was going to be like, oh boy. But we held our own. Our defense looks solid. I like what we got going there. That's Brian Flores, baby. It's all Brian Flores. If we would have had Ed Donatel, we would have got crushed today. We would have got absolutely crushed today if it was Ed Donatel as our defensive coordinator still. What's up, Mike? I wouldn't necessarily call that good news, but maybe for you if you're a Lions fan. Yeah, you guys sit alone atop the NFC North. 1-0. That is just... We got Bears-Packers to decide. Bears at Packers. That game's starting here in about 2 minutes. But, man, we got to roll into Philly now. That's going to be a tough game. I don't know if we can win that one. But yeah, I like what I seen out of Jordan Addison. He looks to be a dog. That 39-yard touchdown pass was fantastic. That was great to see. Means that him and Kirk Cousins have somewhat of a chemistry going. Justin Jefferson obviously picked up where he left off, an absolute stud. But again, it all comes down to that offensive line play, man. I wish we could just play it a little bit better. That's all we needed to do was just play it a little bit better. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. So, well, there's not really much more to talk about. But yeah, Brandon, I can't wait to see the blitz percentage either. Because I think we did pretty good. For both sides, anyways. I would like to see that. But, yeah, man, tough loss. We start 0-1. Last in the division. Unfortunately. But, hey, we can bounce back. Thursday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles. At Philly. Going to be a tough one. But I think we can get it done. We just got to work a little bit harder. Fix that old offensive line a little bit. Make sure everyone's healthy. Make sure Garrett Bradbury's ready to rock and roll. Hopefully that back doesn't continue to cause him issues. Especially throughout the entire season, because that would absolutely suck. That would be terrible. But yeah, man, let's hope we get another win, or let's hope we get a win this Thursday, which will